Hello, brave souls. Welcome. I am your GM in the Great Barrier, and we are back with Star Trek Adventures Aegis. We are returning to episode 7 of our second season, The Weave of Eternity, Part 2. Before we get going here, just the quick note that for those of you wanting to keep up with with this show or Star Trek Adventures Broken Sword, we will be starting a new adventure this coming Thursday there, and as always, I advise you to take a look at the links in the description of the video if you want to check out anything. And hello, Omega Couch. Thank you for the follow there. We hope you enjoyed the session. You've come right at the perfect time. We're just going to get into a recap now and get back to the session. So, let's see. Just queuing up the shots. Okay. So, when last we left off, the Aegis has escaped what the executive officer, Lieutenant Commander Shira, explained was a time loop. Supposedly, you've spent at least some amount of time. Pete, just if you could mute yourself while you chew. Or
Apologies.
get into the bag. Okay. So.
The part of Brian will be played by Pete today.
Oh no, we're switching things around. Everyone's
If Brian wants to make the rolls for the to save the captain, I'm happy to swap.
No. And
The body's a machine, right?
we're
Bring me that arc welder. She'll be just fine.
So what I'm hearing is a body swap episode. Is that right?
No, we don't need that yet.
Friday shit going on
Very
here.
good. Yes. Okay. Apologies. We are off the rails already, but we're going to get back on. So, when last we left off, the Aegis had arrived in, or rather, had recently broken out of a time loop, one that seemed to have caught the ship's executive officer, Lieutenant Commander Shira. She was able to, because she somehow retained the information from every loop, she was able to enact some changes to it. She had learned that a ship from the Suliban Cabal had been trying to help them escape the loops for some reason. Apparently, in a distant binary star system, the Tholians have acquired some sort of force, some sort of weapon that is capable of manipulating time and space, or at the very least, manipulating time. With the instructions as far as when to correct your course in order to break the loop, you traveled for several days in order to, it's actually closer to just a couple days to the binary star system, and you have found a most peculiar sight. Or as your science officer discovered, as they explained, one of the binary star systems, which is supposed to be in a protoplanetary state. In other words, it is a disk of various material that will one day accrete and form planets. One of them appears to have had a chunk basically rendered completely empty, and in the process of doing so, there appears to be an anomaly deep within where the disk should be. At this point, you have also determined that there is a Minshara-class planet, one that should not exist for some millions of years in this star system, centered in the area. Aegis has arrived at this one of the binaries. They are lucky that it seems most of the Tholians are arrayed closer to the other one in a plane set to intercept what you can guess to be a fairly sizable Klingon force. For these binaries are on the fringes of the Klingon Empire, and it seems as though they take exception to the Tholians' presence. Thus, while the Tholians are largely distracted, you are taking an effort to stealthily approach the planet and use the Aegis to try to investigate and neutralize whatever system may be there. As you've discovered at this point, the planet does appear to host some sort of installation that is reinforcing an energy shield around the anomaly, something that appears to be containing its considerable raw energy, and that installation appears, whatever it is, to be surrounded by a settlement of what you can guess to be roughly 47,000 people in a pre-industrial civilization of some sort. So the Aegis has arrived in orbit, or is, I think that as we come back to the game, as we resume, the Aegis is set to arrive in orbit, and you've anxiously been awaiting the situation on the bridge. So let us join the crew here. Shira, you sit anxiously at the bridge, waiting as the Daedalus class vessel closes with the planet. At your side, you have Marcus Horn, the ship's resident diplomat, various junior officers and positions, the recently recruited Suliban pirate Remora, who has taken to his duties as a helm officer or someone in that department, and of course the ship's science officer, Lieutenant Melnook, Ensign Creighton comms. The planet is growing larger, as is the moon, where the Aegis is set to make a very close pass, using it to help mask your approach from the handful of patrolling Tholian ships. You're at the critical point where, with the knowledge of the installation on the surface and the fact that there are a lot of life forms in the area, you're at the critical point of deciding whether to either try to stage something to disrupt it from orbit, which would likely mean attacking the planet, or otherwise causing some pretty considerable interference, or trying to investigate closer to the ground with a landing party. So let's take the scene from there. Shira, you are in position on the bridge. How would you wish to go about things?
So we're approaching the planet now?
I'll say, Chief Justice, your current helm officer and generally cool and composed warrant officer, he will push up the rim on his glasses and look over to you. Yes, Commander. We should be in range to either drop the, I can get us closer, though we might lose moon cover for transporter if we want that status. A shuttle pod could probably make its way there. I'm actually seeing, looks like there's signs of a comet, which could be making a close pass. That is to say, parts of it are breaking off and on the verge of creating a shower. We could launch a shuttle pod there and use that to help hide its entry into the atmosphere.
That sounds like a very good idea. Okay, we'll have an away team prepared and they'll use a shuttle. Mr. Horn, fancy a trip to the surface?
Well, that should prove interesting.
Right, prepare an away team. Have to find
Any
out.
idea what we are expecting?
Well, I'll find out exactly what's going on around that mountain down there.
Calling up from engineering, it is a pre-industrial civilization. Maybe we want to pick up some stuff to help us blend from stores. As much as that'll do, we don't know exactly what we're facing down there, but...
Well, unless somehow remarkably they all look human.
I mean, we
Um,
could be, it might not be. You know, I was
Shouldn't
just bring some fabrics that could be thrown over stuff if we have to blend or...
shouldn't we be able to get some like biological get a look at the people at this distance?
look at the people at what? From
At the
all-
planet.
Melnyuk is going to chime in here. Let's see. I'm going to try and refine our scans a bit further. At this distance, the resolution should be less of an issue. Ideally, I would launch a probe for more observation, but the sensors can discern a good bit of more granular material at this point. Let's see. Just to grant you guys or boost momentum a little more, I'm going to give her a difficulty. This would be a difficulty 2, Reason plus Science roll. The advanced sensor talent on the Aegis is going to reduce this to a difficulty 1 task. If somebody would care to roll for the ship, I will take care of Melnyuk's roll.
Yeah, I got the ship. And what is the roll again?
Sensors plus Science would be the support.
Sensors plus science, 1 die.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh no. Let me see.
Ah,
I'm going to say this is the fact that this planet should not exist, these people should not exist for some millions of years, and they all just happen to be around a major facility of some sort, or at least something that is emitting pulsing beams of high amounts of energy. I think that her value, too interesting to pass up, becomes relevant. She will invoke that value to use a point of determination and re-roll her d20s there. So she scores 1 success. That's enough. The ship scores a success, which means that you get a point of momentum. Pete, you can draw at leisure. And just going back up to the momentum tracker here. Okay.
Thank you.
So that'll be 5 points. All right.
So, alright, lads, we're doing alright. We're
Ba-
doing well.
Big pardon?
Just say, we've got plenty of momentum for now, in case we need it.
Yes, yes.
I suspect we will.
don't encourage it. Don't encourage it. Just
No,
Come on, Captain. It's not like your life depends on a good. Oh.
Let's see. So, Melnyuk says, okay. Based on what I'm getting, I'd say the life forms are... Based on the energy fields here, I'd say that these life forms are more likely reptilian in nature. Very likely a form of biped. It seems, based on what I'm getting from the our more like she pushes a little more power to the sensors. It looks as though the climate tends to be like it's a fair climate, but it can be a little cool. I would suspect that they make use of fairly heavy garments. Seems as though that they have some basic mastery of of threading and such. So it would be an analog to Earth's Dark Ages, or she rattles off a few other analogs. I'm sure at this point she would cite the parallel civilizational development text that is at least famous enough to, or probably required reading for most Starfleet personnel, and that Shira would have at least a passing familiarity with. It's enough to where all of you have the context. Basically, you could go in like some very heavy, like wool or other fabrics that you could probably drape over you in the form of cloaks and whatnot.
Excellent. I do like a good cloak.
So, I'll relay coordinates to you. I think that I've found a decent landing site as well that I can relay to whomever you want to take as a pilot. Justice himself, he looks ready to go, but he also... Remora, you specifically note, he kind of tilts his head a little to you, as if giving you the signal of, you got this if you want it. In case
Is that...
Oh.
Yeah.
That was in case you wanted to volunteer, Cheesy.
Do you think you'd rather have Justice here or on the shuttle? Because thankfully we now have 2 pilots.
Mora, fly the shuttle.
You got it.
And all of the... your away team is coming together. Things feel like they are going well. When the turbo lift doors open, we weren't expecting Romanov to make it up here so quickly in case she was going to check in on things. Indeed, you weren't expecting any other relief officers on shift. But the door opens, you turn, and you see standing there before you none other than one Colonel Lillian Sharp.
Coming in?
Sharp, the captain.
I've seen no roles for that.
Well, let's go back and let's remember that we had at least a few complications saved up from... well, no, we had one complication still saved up from last time. So
We could just moved on, but okay, poor Xantar.
Never. No, absolutely not.
let me...
Xantar is now actually dead. He's the one in the coma.
Yeah, I'm just rolling up my new character. Hang on.
let me cloak Shira because she is not there. But also...
It's not what I thought would happen when we talked about body switching.
No. So, Xantar, some moments later, as the ship was in transit, you look over the captain, who is currently, or was at that time, still unconscious. Lambeth has been going between other work and peeking over the medical scanner. You're looking over the readout of the captain's brain. The symptoms, the severe head pain that she claimed to be experiencing, and the scattered neurological readings centered in our prefrontal cortex. You still haven't come any closer to figuring out why this is. You only know that if the commander is correct, and given the weird situation in the star system that you've arrived at, there's some credibility, you would guess. Supposedly she is somehow affected by the time loop that you had passed through as well, each time apparently experiencing a worsening head injury. But yes, you look over, and it seems a little inconclusive. Lambert says, I hope you're not working yourself too hard there, Doctor.
Hmm? Uh, Sorry, I was a little transfixed to the data sheet. I'm just annoyed that I cannot get this figured out. We need to get the captain back up and... I don't know. Time travel is not something that I was taught at the medical academy. Or its effects.
I can't say that I've experienced anything quite like it myself. Not outside of the usual way we're all supposed to time travel.
There's a usual way? Oh, you mean just normal?
Yeah, it's just Lydia. I'm sorry. It's a dumb
No,
thing I
no,
answered.
No, it's quite right. I'm
No.
still getting used to some mannerisms of humans.
Oh, that's all right. He looks over the map and says, besides that, so we can't treat a time travel problem. We can only handle a medical problem. It's all we're equipped to do. All we can do is try to keep the damage as contained as possible and treat what we can identify. Of course.
I mean, I'm already recommending a course to deal with the tar in her system and blackening lungs, the amount of alcohol that seems to be in her system. Is this common for humans?
I don't. I personally, I don't make judgments on that.
Very well.
Honestly, well, the very least, we can easily handle some of that. He pulls up on a side-by-side screen, so you see the captain's brain as well, but you also see a bit of her liver. She apparently recently maybe indulged a little bit more in drink, such to where there's very, very mild bits of damage. But it's like this we can take care of. We can very easily, even if it. I mean, this isn't particularly bad, quite frankly. If it, in its worst cases, we could very easily isolate very damaged parts and simply bypass and allow the tissue to regrow, to regenerate properly, even stimulate that along.
Yeah.
It's 22nd century, you guys. Like, this shit can be repaired.
Yeah. And the complication ensues here, Xantar, because an idea pops into your head. It's definitely an idea. Where you've noticed that some of the, like, a lot of the adverse neurological symptoms that the captain is suffering is obviously focused in the prefrontal cortex, but at this point you've worked out at least there are a few particular parts of the prefrontal cortex, a few like areas where neural clusters are firing off in a weird way that you wouldn't necessarily be able to address.
I feel like if on the show, just like Xantar, the camera's facing Xantar, and like one of the assistants turns on like one of the medical lights at the back to study something, just ding, and it's exactly behind Xantar's head, if you get the idea. Is that? You're right. We can isolate certain sections and then remove them, and then stimulate the other area around it to simulate growth and regenerate. Dr. Lambert, do you have it?
Well, I mean, yeah, I do. It's simple. He's still pointing to the liver, but it's...
No, Doctor. We can apply the same process to Sharp's brain. Take out the neurons that are causing the problems and stimulate afterwards to help them regrow.
Oh no, I don't know about... Lambeth looks actually genuinely puzzled here, and is uncertain as to the nature of the procedure, but he doesn't seem like he has a particularly good argument to refute it. Well, I don't know if we should go full brain surgery at this point, but I suppose if we isolated...
We're running out of any other suggestions. I mean, we're doctors, we're brain surgeons, are we not?
Yes, we're very experienced doctors. Maybe we should... well, I don't know that the commander's going to like this, but perhaps if we isolate some of the segments there, then the neural pathways will compensate, and we could do like what you're saying. We can stimulate that along. I don't want to remove brain parts just yet. How does that sound okay?
It's a start. We can at least try it, see what the results are, and then afterwards, if it's safe to proceed, we may have to go further. If not, well, let's hope.
So, you find, Xantar, that in the few minutes here, the solution seems so simple, but yet brilliant in some ways. It's also a relatively simple process to enact, because I imagine whatever equivalent you have to a cortical stimulator in this era, I imagine that there is something just suited enough. He hands you one and goes over to a computer system to help modulate it for you.
Okay.
Right. I'll tweak some of this here, but I'm going to count on you to manage proper placement and targeting on those neurons. So that should be just a control plus medicine roll. Difficulty of 2 in this case. I can help, the ship will help. Anyone rolling for the ship, that'll just be, computers and medicine.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'm watching you, Peter.
Shut up, you're awake!
Unconscious.
Zach, would I be able to apply quick study to this when attempting a task that would involve an unfamiliar medical procedure or which to treat an unfamiliar species? Ignore any difficulties increase stemming from your unfamiliarity?
I really should have set the difficulty to 3 because of this, but I'll bring it down to 1 for you, just to...
Thank you.
I'll be as nice to you as possible. Things certainly couldn't go bad from that point.
Shush.
No, of course not.
Shush, Zach. Shut your mouth.
I am also going to spend a momentum for an extra die, as long as no one else minds.
Go for it.
Shut up, Felix.
I'm just saying it's a very generous life insurance policy.
Okay.
Chat can always...
I wonder how often it's looked at.
Well, not since I last edited it.
Given Sharp's career, it's kind of like, shoot. I have to check the life insurance again.
All right.
Well,
What were you going to say, Zach?
I was just going to say, if chat wants to throw any weight behind it, they can always buy the advantages or complications or anything of the sort. I'm not seeing that now.
You guys keep your hands out of those complications. I say this on behalf of Panda as well. Shut up. All right. I love you guys, but just no. Let's not kill off Sharp yet.
Did you spend a momentum to roll on extra die?
Yes.
Okay.
Here we go, guys. Everybody pray.
Ooh.
And that
There we go.
is 3 successes from Xantar.
This is where Lambeth screws it up.
Lambeth
Oh, no.
gets a success. And then, Brian, can you give me the ship
I'm rolling right now, just waiting for the request. Here it is.
Go ahead, Brian. Hey!
So that'll be 5 successes, which means that you get 2 points of momentum back, filling you up, and you have 4 points floating then. Or no, 3 points floating. Yes. No. No
2
math.
points
2
floating.
points
One six. Yes. So
Yeah.
2 back, 2 points floating. Just
Yep.
whee.
The GM has not completely finished his caffeinated beverage, so that's. Oh, and you guys so narrowly missed the spend here. Omega Couch, our newest follower, true, a truly wise being, has spent the Quatlus to increase the difficulty. So next time,
I knew the chat would do that.
it will not apply this time, but a future task will be made more difficult. Your redeem is seen, and yes, we'll keep that in mind. That being said, yeah, you calibrate the device precisely to try and isolate the neural clusters that you think are causing the major problems, and with a signal to Lambeth, you initiate the sort of low voltage set of pulses in order to try to administer the treatment. The pulses go for a few, alternating for a few minutes as they target the respective clusters, and after a time, once they cease, you just wait. And Xantar, as you look down at the captain, you see the eyes begin to flitter a little bit.
No. Captain? Captain Sharp, can you hear me?
I was going to do what I wanted to do, right, Zach?
Yep.
Yep, there's now a hand over your throat, and it's crushing it.
I figured that much.
Oh.
I knew it was going to go this way.
Yep. Xantar, you've been grappled.
Captain.
It closes tighter as she opens her eyes and, like, looks you eye to eye. What did you put in me?
Nothing. Sir, just stimulated some of your neurons to regenerate themselves.
Oh yeah, Captain, you're awake. Yeah, no, well,
A little
you're
help,
all
man.
right. Can you let go of my fellow doctor here? I'd rather we do this with our words than sedatives. Besides, the bridge might need you. We've got a situation right now.
Her eyes flick over to Lambeth, still holding like a freaking metallic vice grip around Xantar's throat. Could easily just snap it, and she just lets go.
Thank you, Captain.
It seems your reflexes are intact, Captain. We can tell you what, Xantar, you go take a break and a breather, and
He immediately is like spraying like sanitizer in his hand, going around the neck area. Just.
There's almost definitely bruises there.
Oh yeah.
And I'll just run through a quick checkup, Captain, and you'll be all okay, and we'll see how you are. Maybe we can clear you for duty. Maybe.
I need something because you've definitely overstimulated my nerves, she says. As she sits up and kind of flexes her arms and fists a little bit.
Yeah. You also feel the cortical stimulator on your forehead.
Yeah, she takes those off.
Oh, that's kind of delicate equipment. I'd appreciate it.
And thrown across the room.
No, she's not throwing it across the room. She just sets it. She just sets it down, though a bit forceful.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh no, quite all right. I mean, I don't like violence in my sickbay, but yep. So Lambert starts going into a battery of very dull sort of tests. You know, he'll ask you to follow his finger, all that sort of thing.
Yeah. But Q, fast forward. Though
Yes.
she will apologize to Xantar.
Yep.
Uh,
You
Quite
you,
right, Captain.
you hurry it along, and amidst the process, uh, now hear this. Now hear this. Uh, we are approaching coordinates. All hands remain at. Actually, just above board, double check. Would we be at condition yellow, or were we at full action stations?
I believe we're at condition yellow at this point.
Okay. All decks remain at condition yellow.
well, she like fixes her cuffs. There's nothing else, doctors. I appreciate the work,
I mean,
but I'm near the bridge.
I'd rather appreciate maybe staying a little longer just to, get some residual
well,
skin.
I will go up to the bridge with her, Doctor. Keep her monitored.
Okay. He pulls aside like a basically a subdermal tissue stimulator. It's like if you need it, follow that. He kind of gestures around your neck.
Yes.
Something you'll
Thanks.
notice, Xantar, is that Sharp typically, even though she's a very, very work-related captain, she usually has like a casual kind of expression, or almost like a slight smile. There's no smile on her face. It's very like just leveled and focused, if anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I might take Xantar might take a med kit with him as well, with like a hyperspray and some certain sedatives, just in case.
And
No reason.
Yes. A stroll through the corridor and one, I imagine, slightly awkward turbolift ride later, we catch back up to the present, where Sharp has stepped out of the turbolift and Xantar is revealed to be just behind her. At this point, I think that if you so wish, Xantar, you could have treated the bruises by now. Otherwise, if you think it
I
more
would have
important.
I would have done it on the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Captain, seems the rumors about your condition were vastly exaggerated.
I try to make it a habit of it, she says, with a very, just mild smile. It goes back to her normal focus expression. Am I interrupting something?
Well, we're only preparing a landing party for a planet that's a couple million years too early.
Weird stuff again. All right.
Yeah, acting Captain Eula Shira will catch you up. I'll have to prepare. And he just steps into the turbolift. Waves as the doors close.
Have fun. Presumably with Remora.
Yeah. By the way, how obvious is that Sharp is like being held together by duct tape and sheer will?
It isn't like she's held like a duct tape by sheer will, but just more of just a more. I'm trying how best to express this.
The mask isn't casual; it's forced.
Like there isn't really a mask anymore. This is definitely more of a.
The nice version was the mask.
Yeah, the nice version was a mask. This is a Mako. Absolutely a Mako in command.
Oh yeah, I know that the nice person was the mask.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves.
There's a change in demeanor, Marcus, that I think. That
Yeah, it's less all-rounder captain and more predator now.
I don't recall her growing those spines in her mouth and suddenly having some strange weapon on her shoulder, but yeah, it works.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure they've always been there.
Yeah. She looks very similar to a Nausicaan for some reason. I can't put my finger on it.
It's very much a predator in her own domain. Let's put it that way. Very comfortable, very serious, very much keeping not necessarily like wary of anything, but definitely like her always watchful.
Sorry. Let me bring you guys back before the door closes off, in case anyone else wanted to chime in before.
I will grab Remora's shoulder and say, Remora,
Yes, Captain?
before you leave, I thought I've given some thought, and the fact that you've been a help more than a few times, and certainly probably know more than, well, most of us do regarding the Starfleet codes and conduct. I'm sure I can start listing a code and you can tell me, right? Practically.
Yes.
Great. I'll deal with the paperwork, but given the situation and the fact that I need more officers on this ship, I'm promoting you to ensign. Congratulations.
Damn.
Thank you, Captain. I won't let you down.
And just like that, Remora, you walk off the bridge with a field commission.
You know, I think since you slightly drawn back, as Remora steps into the turbo lift as well, and the last thing the captain hears, a field promotion. My condolences.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I will spare you guys from having to recount from any more plot.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shira will basically recount the status reports on roughly what has happened. Maybe not the full staff meeting briefing that you guys had gotten between those, but more binary system. Part of it's
binary
missing.
system, Tholian time thing going on down on the planet. Primitive civilization. We're about to see primitive civilization and hopefully stop the time beat. Yeah.
It's just like, who? They did what?
It's just like a fast forward sequence, like music.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, with all that, Sharp, you are brought up to date, and the particular mission pertains to the anomaly that's deeper in the system. And just as I'm just going to put this up for everyone's benefit again, if I can just find it here.
After listening, she'll just nod and then say, Commander, if you can come with me to the Red Room.
Of course.
And then looks over to the lieutenant and says, Lieutenant Malniuk, you'll have the bridge for the moment.
Yeah, okay. So, I'll flip you guys right over to the bridge. Guys, over to the ready room real quick. Sorry.
Yep.
Give me a moment here.
Once she's in, she'll just wait until the door closes. Kind of looks at the looks at her desk, notices the cigars, grabs them, sniffs it a bit, and then just tosses it in the dustbin. Looks back. So, Commander, time travel situations critical. How best do you want to approach this? Do you want to go on the mission yourself, or shall I take the role? Certainly, I think my capabilities are more capable down on the ground, given my former profession, but certainly you have more knowledge regarding this whole situation.
With the with Klingons approaching, Folian ships around, I think it's probably best I remain on the ship. So if you want to take command of the away team, that's probably a good idea.
She nods. Fair enough. I can already tell just from you explaining earlier that you have some questions, at least something regarding
They'll have
me.
to wait, I think.
You sure?
Yeah. There's time and place for those, and that's once this mission is done.
Sure not. Very well. Alright. Add a character. Who were the away mission people?
So we have Horn, Remora. I believe Xantar was going to be part of that, or at least that's what we were
Oh no,
discussing.
yeah.
Yeah. After some chatting, Craig is elected to stay back this time. We'll leave things on the ship here. And then I am presuming at this point you would like to bring Sharp down.
Yeah.
Also, Romanov was going too.
Alright. Should just nod. It seemed like you have a good away team as it was. But I'm certainly not out of character. Blah 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 blah. I just died. My mouth just died. She just nods and then says, "All right, let's. Given the fact of how long numbers it is, try to avoid any direct conflicts."
Yeah, definitely.
She just nods. You've done well, and certainly, I am sure this is probably scared you of ever wanting to be a captain, but you make a good captain. She says, with actual genuine small smile.
Thanks, but I think a couple more years as a executive officer would be nice. Don't come back in a coma.
Try my best.
Next time you end up in the med bay for an extended period, we're going to open up your quarters to the rest of the crew. People need extra space. She'll smile.
Given the fact I practically lived there when I was a Mako, I'm not surprised. She says, part of the job.
Let's try to make it not too frequent, though.
No promises. She says,
Best of luck down there.
You too. And then she'll leave.
All right. So the away team will then proceed to the shuttle bay and pop out one of the shuttle pods. Let's see. At this point, I'll ask, in terms of what you guys are bringing with you. First, let's make sure that we have just an exterior shot for the Aegis, because you guys are going to be parked there for a little bit. Let's see. While I'm sorting that out, let's work out what we are bringing along. So, you guys will have. You guys can, I'll say, we're technically out of that scene, but you guys had some advantages, or you had some floating momentum. We can have some of that go into any specialized equipment that you want to buy.
I also wanted to bring Al, too, with this. We're dealing with time shit. I need my science officer.
Fair enough. Melnyuk will be, Melnyuk, much to her chagrin, will be brought along on the mission.
Oh, Ensign Stewart gets to go to the bridge again. Yay.
No.
Yay. Shira's favourite science officer. Science buddy.
You're gonna have such a great time.
There are other science officers.
No, there are not.
We only pay for the one on a regular basis, though.
So,
Yeah.
I guess at this point, like, Horn still thinks like he's in command of the away mission, because Captain has just decided to join. But everyone he would have called, he would have said, like, no big equipment, only what you can hide. in your pocket or under fabric easily.
I gotcha. So does that mean are we taking phase pistols then?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, phase pistols was the
At
obvious
least,
thing.
at least the captain is. I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I've taken a phase pistol
Yeah, it's
Santos
the
taking one.
it's the wrong
and an
question.
engineering kit and a survival kit.
The more important question would be: are we escalating from that?
No. Oh, hello. Who died?
I don't know.
Brian.
Oh no,
Thrown
it was thrown off.
Okay.
I knocked her out. We don't need that negative energy on the mission. No, it's joking.
All right. So.
When we get to the shuttle, or get to the shuttle bay, the captain arrives and says, "Do you mind if I join in, Warren?"
I mean, it is your ship. Are you feeling up to it?
I've been bored on this ship for a while, anyways. Might as well shake my legs.
He's giving you like a long, hard look. Like, it's like the silent question. It's like, should you be moving out and about? But he's too polite to ask in front of everyone.
She just looks like, after a moment, looks back at you. Do you think this is? I haven't worked with less.
Well, welcome on board. He just gestures you to the shuttle.
Okay. So, everybody will get standard equipment for the mission: phase pistol, communicator, universal translator, which Crichton has updated with some Tholian, or every bit of Tholian that they have. It is not a lot, at least insofar as... or it's very minuscule, and it is also not it's not going to be instantaneous, so you would get some basic, difficult to decipher Tholian before hearing back on that.
I am so glad I have a focus in linguistics. We'll see how well that works. Stolians are fucking weird.
Yep.
Isn't Tholian's just basically screeching?
Yeah.
Yep. Get ready for some screeches.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I'd be more terrified if we were hearing nothing but whoop, 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 whoop.
Glass the planet! Glass the planet!
It's the redesign of the Tholians.
I'll find your glue bark somewhere.
No, you won't. Runs away.
Work! Activate the time thingy.
All right.
And yeah, I mean, don't know if everyone else, like, whatever we still need to plan, but on the way down, Horn would run through all the information we have, like, as much as as close to map as we have, what the objective is, which is basically try to figure out what the fuck's going on and act appropriately.
Yeah.
Yes. All fair.
But hopefully getting everyone up to speed. It might be more to the benefit of the captain than for everyone else who was literally on the bridge when
Yeah,
this happened.
okay.
But he holds it for
Doesn't-
everyone.
Yeah, she does. She understands. And she listens very succinctly. So,
Also,
I mean, to be
Xandar-
fair, it's also we don't have a lot of information.
yeah.
Xantar is also going around and giving everyone like little inoculations for like the common cold or any cold-based like viruses that may occur on a frigid planet.
Excellent. Also, we don't know how these people look like yet. So what we scrounged up from the quartermaster is some cloaks, essentially. Make heavy use of them.
Face masks.
Try to hide as much as possible. I think the last thing we want to do is draw any attention to us. Otherwise, we play this by ear.
Add a character. What's the weather like down there?
Let's see. The last updates that you get are that I guess Melnick would be riding second seat to run sensor scans. It's nothing like. Looks like we are, well, not too bad. Sunny skies. Say about. Sorry, just running my conversion here. We're looking at about sunny skies, 18 Celsius. That's 64 Fahrenheit for everyone.
Yeah.
For everyone who doesn't use metric units.
64 eagles per square oil. It's amazing. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else we can prepare? Because I can't remember anything if there is.
Well, about all. Good.
Arctic. Maybe some portable Arctic, tents that fold up. I know that Starfleet has Arctic gear. We saw it in an episode.
It's more like
You
a
know, like that
warm. Brian, I know West Coast. It may be an alien. I know that 64 degrees was like deep freeze territory for you, but
Right.
It's actually not that bad. As someone, it's a California who now lives in the PNW. It's you can have short sleeve shirts, definitely at a certain point. You're fine.
Oh, okay. Because I heard
It's a little chilly. You can need a windbreaker maybe, and pants. You know, if you're feeling it, but you don't. You
does
don't.
favor pants for the most part.
Yeah,
Pants are usually.
but you don't. You don't need Arctic gear or anything like that.
Okay, well then, just I did bring a survival kit as well as an engineering kit, just in case. Just the general Starfleet, whatever they give you in a little packet.
fair enough.
Yeah, standard gear.
Well, the larger kit might go a little beyond the standard, but you guys had floating momentum, so any opportunity cost I think would be covered there.
Sweet.
So yeah. All right. So the shuttle pod, because you're going for a stealthier approach to try to avoid contact with the Tholians, you are flying from the Aegis and going for insertion into a passing comet, which is breaking off due to light, the photons from the nearby, or like from the star of this binary system, helping it to break off some items. It's an interesting thing. This comet, the possible material that could break off it might have, in a couple million years, showered a more primordial planet with the ingredients of life. But here, this one is already very much alive. That being said, to properly hide in the debris and fly down to the planet, I'm going to ask for a con roll. So first will be insertion. Remora, you are up.
What attribute?
This will be control plus con, and you will be assisted by the shuttle pod with engines plus con. I was going to make this a difficulty 2 roll, but the chat has already spent to increase the difficulty, and oh boy, I won't apply it for this one, but our good friend Zyla OXO from the Broken Sword game is also spending to increase the difficulty. I will pocket that for later, but just noting that that's all set. Hope you're doing well today, Calico.
Can I use my subterfuge focus?
I'll let that apply here. Subterfuge will work. There is also, well, there was momentum for use, but who needs it when you get 3 successes right on your own? If somebody wants to roll for the shuttle pod, that is...
Yeah, got it.
Yep, that is engines and con, just once again.
Engines and con.
Mm-hmm.
1 dice.
Correct.
Here you go.
No help from the shuttle pod, but that's fine. So, Remora, with Melnyuk riding second seat, she is feeding you occasional bits of navigational information, but you have you have made this type of insertion with larger ships than this little pod before. You know the perils that can come with small bits of debris, and this is a much more rinky-dink kind of vessel compared to anything that you have piloted before, so you are much more careful. You find it effortless, though, to fire up the ship's thrusters and hide yourself in the debris cloud. You manage easily dodging to and fro between larger chunks of material, though none larger than the shuttle pod. You find the best trajectory that will allow you to insert into the atmosphere. Everything is going going perfectly steady. How is everyone enjoying the ride right now?
How's the view out of the window? Do we see anything from the mountain or the settlement?
Well, at present, you are still like in the bit of cometary tail and
Yeah,
like,
we're
passing
in the
debris, so-
commentary tail.
Yeah, you're still
Okay, still far out.
Yeah, you're still. By the point that we're at here, the situation is that you can see the planet somewhat through the tail, but you are still in the process of descending, or descending into the atmosphere. You're about to start hitting atmosphere in just a few minutes. That said, the planet is a very lovely blue-green from what you can make out in the window. It looks very Earth-like, very much like any other colony. It would be, it would truly be a lovely place to visit, you think, if not for all the complicating factors, be it the strange anomaly in the system, the fact that Klingons are so nearby, or as Melnyuk says, while she looks ahead through the viewport, it's a real pity that if this does continue to exist here, she says, this planet isn't going to last this way for so long.
No.
I mean, even
But on the other hand, we would never be able to see it otherwise.
No, it's just a shame. I mean, even if the material on the disk doesn't wind up crashing into the planet, the radiation is going to make this place unlivable. It's a terrible way for anyone to have to go.
Well, makes you wonder. What are they looking for here?
Probably they couldn't move it. Yeah, they bring the whole thing. The device, I mean.
Well, whatever they have down there stabilizing that energy field, could just as easily be fortuitous circumstance. I mean, if this whole system was created by some sort of disruption in space and time, then maybe they didn't have a way to predict that this thing would have been created in the first place. There's really no way of knowing exactly. It's just the fact.
Well, this seems more intentional than
It does.
whatever we experienced. There seems the range seems to play a huge factor in it. So I think it's safe to assume that whatever this planet is, that was the intended target.
I mean, possible. You have to accept, though, a lot of conditions with that. Like to think that the Tholians have the ability to plot out, model and plot out what a star system is going to look like in millions of years. That there's going to be a particular planet that is either suitable for whatever purpose, whatever they've used to build up this material, or even that it's got some sort of natural benefit to it, is just a whole situation that I don't entirely buy. And as Melnyuk is rattling these things off, I'm going to spend 2 points of 2 points of threat to create a narrative setback or a negative trait in the scene. At present,
I'm gonna. Romanov's gonna look at her. Look, this could be a superimposition situation where that artifact is both creating something in the future and it's not there at the same time. But we're in the Schrodinger's box where this happened, and it may not be that they created the technology, but they found it, and given the reports on them, I wouldn't, and their understanding of subspace, I wouldn't put it beyond them to be able to grasp something, even if it's not made by them. There's so many possibilities here, but I believe this was intentional as well.
flashes be-
So, what happens? Zach?
flashes begin to, as the ship begins to approach the atmosphere, flashes begin showing up on the viewport, and sensor alerts chime on the sensor alerts begin chiming on the shuttle pod's computers. Remora, you are getting proximity warnings as some of the cometary material begins exploding as it approaches the atmosphere.
It's about to get real bumpy. You might want to hold on to something.
Remora, Daring, and Khan, and this will be with a difficulty of, base difficulty was going to be 3, because of the the complication bought by Remora, that is, by Xyla, that is going to be a difficulty 4 roll now, of Daring plus Khan. And also, yes, thank you, Omega Couch, I am going to stretch as I put my players in peril.
I can apply my weightlifting focus, right?
Not quite.
Okay, I'm gonna use my first determination.
But he keeps carrying the game. I don't see why he can't.
All right. What value are you invoking to spend your determination here?
Survival above all else.
That's a good point. I will allow for that. You do also have momentum that you can spend to buy additional dice.
I'm keeping that just in case you throw us for a loop-de-loop.
Well, I suppose I will go ahead and spend 3 points of threat to increase the complication range. Oop.
I'm gonna do my favorite one. I'm gonna do the 2 critical successes.
Alright, so invoking the value, you expend a point of determination to give yourself an auto-critical success. That means you have 2 on the board already. Between yourself and the shuttle pod, you just need to get 2 more in order to meet the difficulty here. And you score 2 successes right on your own. Brian, if you could roll for the shuttle pod, reminder, the complication range is 3. But same
Complication range 3.
Yep.
And
Jesus.
it is engines and con again, right?
Correct.
Okay, just confirming.
Do you want to use a momentum?
You can't
Yep.
use a momentum, I believe, on the
Of
ship.
course.
Yep. But with the let's see, sorry. So, Remora, you chart a course through the bursts of exploding material. Several were in very close proximity, either along your course, or they would have been along possible paths you might have taken to avoid some of them. You effortlessly managed to just blaze on past them, picking up speed and heat as the shuttle pod begins to enter atmosphere. shuttle pod
Uh,
cuts through it like a fast-moving knife. Its polarized hull plating glancing off every impact, and you probably all hear the gentle spray of rocks pattering along the hull plating. I'd say such that you are getting it. It is almost akin to rain on the hearing it as if like there are heavy raindrops outside. But
The captain takes a mild nap. Takes a military nap.
yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. By the way, Zach, for whatever reason, medicine came up, even though I had con indicated, so that would be only a one more difference on the check. So I don't know why it did that. I had it clicked correctly.
that's weird.
I mean,
I'm seeing it as engines and
Yeah,
comm
we
in this.
see
So
it's gone.
okay,
yeah.
great. It came up different on my side. So, oh no, okay, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, it came up correct. Okay.
You are perfectly fine. Yeah. So with that, Remora, you're able to bank through the uh, pitter patter of asteroids, dodging the worst of the debris, and uh, flying down on a course that will take you near the landing site. Uh, you wind up, in order to avoid being seen along the course that was selected, you wind up taking a course that puts you like in a valley, kind of adjacent to the main set of villages, uh, flying in low. It's about 15 to 20, I'd say close to 16 kilometers away. Not too bad, a good few hours hike, although, as you understand it now, Horn, that is roughly the time that you have until the Klingons make contact with the Tholians on the far end of the binaries.
How convenient. Should be a nice distraction for any Tholians on the surface.
Yes. So. But yeah, you wind up setting the shuttle pod down in a forested area. Let's see here. I think that I have at least a good initial image for you guys sitting down here. Maybe not. Well, anyway, we'll just go theater of the mind here for the away team initially setting down. So you find yourselves in a very pleasant valley. It is, as stated, slightly cool. The low 60s or upper teens Celsius. Let's see. But you disembark. All of you have the equipment you've planned for. You also have basically somewhat heavy cloth that would be suitable or likely material based on the civilization as it exists in this day.
Yep, she covered herself up outside of her eyes. Given the fact I have survival training, I'll take point.
That's your wish.
No objections here, Captain.
She looks around, looks through her scanner to see where the nearest, if there's any signs of life in any direction, like civilized life.
So near as your scanner will tell you, give me a reason plus science roll. This will be a difficulty of 1.
Sure. Reason's not exactly like forte, but you can do that. and survival.
That would apply. And I'll say anyone that wants to run the scan can do so. I think Melnyuk will also do it. We can
Yeah, I'll
award-
run a scan too.
Ooh, look at that. No,
Oh,
don't do
no.
that.
And I've already expended her determination. That's a pity.
Reason and science, you said?
Yes.
Yes, all the fun
Difficulty,
ones.
complication range?
Should
One?
just be one. Which, unless anyone wants to buy off Melnyuk's complication,
Yeah,
I'm just
we'll,
going to take
we'll buy
the-
it off. We have 6. Let's buy it off.
No worries. How many is that again, Zach? Is that 2?
Yes, that would be 2 points of momentum.
Okay.
Just to make sure my stream counters are up to date, we're at 4 points of momentum and 9 points of threat. So that being said, yeah, Sharp and Melnyuk aren't doing too good. Romanov and Xantar, both of you are picking up beyond the ambient wildlife, which mostly appears to be either sort of insectoid or reptilian in nature. Both of you, I'd say, are picking up signs of a life form actually kind of on the further end of the forest. I'd say it's about maybe just a few kilometers away.
I'll walk
believe-
over to Xantar and show him my result and see if he's got the same thing.
Yeah, I will compare with my colleague.
No, the
I think
bio.
we've got his...
Go ahead.
That's it. She just looks at Lillian and says, I think we've got a sensor target
Which direction?
that way.
How far?
How far, Zach?
Just about a few kilometers.
A few kilometers.
Okay. This way. And I'm going to get ahead by like a quarter of a click. But I'm going to be as quiet and into the green as much as I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Marcus, the captain just zips away.
Yeah, but should we follow? Following. Mm-hmm.
In the
I
direction.
assume so, yeah.
GM,
Yes.
is there a object that I could fit into my hand that I could throw?
There's easily like a rock or a stick or something of the sort.
As I'm following, I'm gonna pick up a rock.
Very good. So you pick up the rock and make your way. All of you trying to just keep up with the captain, who is very much possessed. Hasn't bothered to coordinate the team in the same way that she usually would. It's a little out of place, and Xantar, you are beginning to wonder what exactly those neurons you isolated did.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye out and making observations to report back to Lambeth.
Man.
Keep the tranquilizer already.
Oh, I've got that. Don't worry.
Yep.
It's a pretty hefty one too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll make sure I'm at a quarter, and I'm always going to look back to try to hear them because they are not trained like I am. So I could probably hear them about that kind of distance, right?
Pretty much.
And once I find, I'm only trying to get ear sight or eyesight of this individual, kilometers ahead. But only very distantly. I'm trying to keep as much distance and out of sight as possible.
So, let's see. The five of you enter into what is a fairly dense forest. I'd say that the tree cover is sufficient to provide provide very thick cover, such that as you make a particular depth, it's very difficult to discern any sort of discern very much in the way of light. The foliage is just so very thick. I'd say within once you've passed a certain point, Romanov, your tricorders, the engineering scanner that you have, is starting to give some interesting readouts as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna step over by Xantar and show it to him because he's, very knowledgeable. I'm getting an odd sign off the engineering sensor. It may be emanating from the bio sign. This is very peculiar. Take a look at it. Have you seen anything like this?
Xantar will have a peruse.
What Romanov seems to have found is it's a very peculiar energy reading. It doesn't conform to a bioelectric field of any sort. It's assuredly not that, at the very least. Anything further, and I think I would have to ask you for a reason plus science roll, or insight plus science would be the better.
Let's see. May I do an insight and science check then?
Yes.
Cool. Is there anything I have?
If you want to.
Nope, I don't think I have any focuses.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you don't.
Hand particle weapons, I think, is the closest thing I can find. I doubt it.
We'll put the difficulty on this check 2, and that is a success and a complication. There's the nat 20s.
There we go. I thought I rolled them all out.
All right. So, Xantar, I'm going to ask you, you've rolled a complication. Would you prefer to accept the complication and experience a narrative issue? Would you prefer to ignore the complication and grant the GM additional threat? Or would you prefer to buy off the complication by expending 2 points of momentum?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say this is clearly rigged. This is a travesty in the making, and this is an unjust system. But at the same time, I would like a narrative complication, please.
Very good. Xantar, I am going to say that as you are glancing over the readout, you're so focused on the energy reading, which you can't quite discern. You're guessing it's not really an artificial source as well. It looks like it could be conceivably it's something naturally occurring. That it doesn't at least match with any power frequency as you understand them. The power system issue would be something better for Romanov. But you don't actually notice a sudden change in elevation as Romanov, you come to a stop realizing that there's a little bit of a kind of steep outcropping that you're on. Xantar doesn't quite stop, and if you want to go all cartoonish, then it can be the Wile E. Coyote walking over air, looking down, realizing...
Holds up signs saying help, send help.
Yep, and
assist.
The whistle down. But no, in this case, it's more... you actually you stop just a little too late, and on the edge of the outcropping, the ground gives out beneath you, and you find yourself rolling down. This is not a steep fall properly. This is more of a it's just steep enough for you to not be able to get your footing very well. I will not give you any sort of fall damage, but I will have you roll. You tumble quite a ways until you find yourself in a slight depressed area, or like what seems to be a bit of a bowl. And at some distance, let me move you into the area here. At some
Hello? There you go.
at some distance from the like after tumbling some distance, you find yourself just a little shy of what appears to be a fairly large rocky outcropping that is partially illuminated. Some of it from candles that have been set out, other parts from what appear to be like illumination within the rock itself.
Would you say from the rock itself? Is not like a fungus or anything on it, but literally from the rock, like a.
No sort of. This isn't a case of bioluminescent fungus. You see that there's like ample mosses in the area, but none of them display that sort of property. This appears to be. It's
Okay.
almost like a crack within the rock, and
I'm just yellow. Romanoff.
Yeah. You okay?
Yes, I'm unharmed. Wasn't too steep, luckily, but there appears to be possibly a small cave, and it seems that individuals may have come by here. There are candles down here, but also some natural illumination from the local geography.
Are you talking plants or are you talking rocks or debris on the ground?
I'm talking rocks, glowing rocks. Can Xantar like bring out his tricorder? Is the word I'm looking for, and scan the rocks?
Yeah, scan the rock and see if it's the same frequency as that unusual one we found. I'll let everybody know up here. I'll look at everybody else. We found something.
Captain is a bit away, right?
What did he find? It's right behind Horn.
We've apparently
The captain's like far ahead of us. There's no way. I'm right here. Huh!
Yeah,
We need to put the bell on you.
200. It's 200 meters, so it's not that far, actually. But yeah.
Ma'am, so what Xantar found is apparently something that possibly the locals, it's likely the locals, view as some kind of significant location. They have burning candles next to it. But what he's described is a glowing rocks, energetic rocks down there. So we have picked up an unusual signal. I'm interested to know if this is the origin of that.
so Xantar, whilst they're talking, you can give me another reason plus science scan. This will be a difficulty of 2.
Okay.
Hey, and you score 2
Better.
successes on your roll, so that will meet, and that will not complicate, more importantly.
Good. I've had quite enough.
And if the captain hasn't materialized behind me, I would wave that we have found something. It's gonna grab her attention.
How trekkable is it to crawl or climb down?
You think that
Me
with
versus everybody else. Like I could probably climb, rappel a lot, but
Yeah, honestly, you and Xantar would probably have the easiest time climbing this thing. it might even be slightly faster for him to do so, given the both the considerable training and and I think that denobulans have like some particular fine dexterity and grasping that helps them expressly with climbing.
Yeah, they are very good at navigating rock surfaces for somehow. It's just like some natural ability.
Yes, it falls under the denobulan species trait. For you,
Yeah.
Sharp, probably a difficulty 2 task to properly rappel down. Xantar, the tricorder is uncertain as to the exact material. It does appear to be an ore of some sort that is... Well, you don't have much of a sample to judge the purity, but it does seem to be conducting some amount of just raw energy somehow. From what the
Any form of radiation or
maybe something low level, not anything particularly harmful to you from the emissions that are coming off here. The energy seems to be very residual from the readout here, but it does seem as though there's a strain of it somewhere around it. Like, near as you can tell, it seems to extend a little ways down into the surface, but your scanner doesn't give you that much depth.
Okay.
But yes,
is it to the scans that that Romanov was picking up before?
It does appear to conform to that peculiar energy reading.
Okay.
Yeah, you get an interesting close look. The like low area illuminated by the rock, by the candles there, by your scanner, by the candle being carried by a hooded figure who is just rounded the corner right beside you. It emits an almost identical scream to you. It just, like, drops the candle, quivers, and then runs to the rock, its arms flailing.
Fucking shower.
Do we get any look on what's beneath the hood?
How
Yeah,
far-
right.
I will
How
say...
far down is this again? How far is it from us?
It's... I don't know, I expressly set up the height there. I'd say it's maybe, like, something like 8 or 9 meters.
All right.
And there's a steep area that you could kind of, like, skid or roll down.
Yeah, I'll just skid and roll down.
Yeah.
I'll skid down.
Yeah. Just to help you figure this out, get a better sense of it, the individual appears to be a biped. It is very, like, completely covered with the hood, with a hood and, like, other deep brown cloth not dissimilar from your own. It has descended at the bottom and seems to clasp what appear to be some pretty gnarly looking claws together, with words that you don't presently have a bead on. Yes, Sharp, you said you were scaling down?
Yeah, I was just skidding down.
Yep.
Hearing the yelp, I just take the slide and just skid my way down.
All right. Are you coming in phase pistol at the ready?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm a shootist. I don't need to.
Yep.
I would also hurry down.
Okay. Is everybody just coming down?
Yes.
Everybody, come on down.
With the sickness.
Get down with the sickness.
Okay.
Captain. It appears that I'm not alone down here, even before your arrival.
Here's not. She watches the other individual.
It is just at its what you would guess to be its knees before the illuminated altar. Its claws clasped together. It is shaking heckin' badly.
It's what?
It's
It's shaking.
Shaking.
Shake hands.
You said we see the claws. What do they look like? Do they look like mammalian, reptile, alien,
Something
octopus?
definitely more reptilian. I'd say like a pale grayish sort of tone.
So much for blending in.
Would Xantar have any indication about the species from what
Nothing,
he can see?
nothing you recognize.
Okay.
I'll
We don't
I'll
mean-
invite anyone who has a universal. Well, you have a universal translator. If anyone wants to run,
I'm gonna use the other translator and use my own linguistic skills.
And Zach, I want to make an analysis of that, that energy from an engineering point of view.
So what roll do I make
all
as
right.
I try to talk calmly?
So respective roles would be. Let's see. On the communication case, I think,
Presence.
yeah, presence, and then
Command?
and I'll give command. I'll just treat the. I'll tell you what. If you want to treat the universal translators as an advantage here, well, in this case, you're dealing with an unknown alien species, so I will ask you to expend momentum here.
Yeah.
But
So let's spend 2 for the advantage for the universal translator.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use command presence. What difficulty?
I'll contest this. I will see whether.
All right, I'm going to use 1 momentum, if you guys don't mind, so I can get cautious.
Okay.
So we're using up 2 momentum for the advantage and 1
And
more
1 momentum for
momentum.
myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And here we go. Ooh.
Nice.
And let's see
The captain is back.
whether that snaps them out of what they are doing right now. That will be enough. So, and Brian, on your task here, if you want to investigate that, we'll call it a reason plus engineering roll. I'll ask you for up to a difficulty 3. Power systems, it's a strain, but I will still allow for it.
Okay, so
yeah.
focus, yes.
Yeah.
And it's reason and engineering, right?
Yep. And we'll.
And do you guys want me to spend a momentum on this?
Well, let's see. You should have. You have 4
we only-
incoming.
Yeah, we're 4
Yep.
incoming. Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
I'm going to
so that-
spend,
Yeah.
and
We'll
here we go.
So down to 3 after you spend 1 of the incoming momentum. All right, so not quite a success. We'll resolve that in a moment for you, Romanov. While that is going sharp, you wait a few moments for the translator to lock on and properly pick up what this being is saying, or what the getting a grasp for its language. Thankfully, Creighton has programmed it well enough to give you insight fairly quickly.
And I help
That
it.
and the
I help
language.
it here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The language is rudimentary as well. So you get a. By the bright lords, may the blade that severed my life not break my the thread of my being. May my thread be strong and true, and not fall into darkness, and but be drawn to the loom that all that is all and all that will be. And by faith and fidelity, I entwine my.
I understand. Your catechisms are heard by the great ones, but you.
Shush!
need
I'm
to calm
praying.
down.
I entwine myself in the unbreakable weave of eternity. My thread join the others in the light for all time, and under protection of the bright lords. Hey, you, what are you doing out here? You look strange, but
We're travelers, just passing through.
I didn't realize there were any travelers beyond the Bright Lord's domain. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just complete. May allow me to reveal myself, he says. And he will lift his hood and reveal what appears to be a reptilian sort of face. I'm so sorry for my rudeness. My name is Jat. I am just I am humble student in service of the Order of the Bright, and I am one of I'm sorry. I am one of the many children of the Kestrino.
Nice to meet you. I am.
Are you also servants of the Bright Lords?
Yes.
Oh.
Though our faith is seemingly different, it is our culture to keep our presence discreet. So I apologize if we cannot reveal ourselves. It would be quite offensive.
Oh dear. I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't disrespect it by my own reveal. It's just
Not at all. We are quite inclusive, but for us, it is simply a matter of. Well, I'm sure you understand.
no. This Jat. He rises to his feet. His eyes deep yellow with black slits as they glance to and fro between you. His face, once again, a pale gray, with slight ridges over his head and a particularly pronounced central sort of ridge jutting out with a dull but sort of deep maroon color. He appears to also have something resembling hair, or like, if not proper hair, then an analog to it. Yes, I'm sorry. I just, given the end times are upon us and the time of the great departure, I thought that I thought that it would arrive here, and that it was my head that would be the one to roll to warn the others. But oh my! How many of you are there? Are you from a distant town? You must let them know to come here before Kesserine brings us all away. Or do you have a Bright Lord in yours that will take you away as well?
I have to think about this for a moment. She looks over to Horn, who's the diplomat and intelligence officer. Come on, dude, help me out here. Felix.
This is not diplomacy. This is first contact, infiltration, terror.
Yeah.
So perfect for you.
Perfect for you.
I have. He's kind of giving you also like a bit of a desperate look, like he's no idea how to approach this.
Yeah, she just looks
Like,
back and says, "Our home is very far, and we have noticed the great changes upon us as well, though not quite as
Severe.
severe.
Oh yes.
We came down here exploring to see what perhaps this event had been.
Yes, we seek understanding. If you could help us, would
Also,
be grateful.
Also, I apologize if I startled you.
Quite. No. You're fine. I suppose I was just most puzzled by a talisman there, he says, gesturing to the medical scanner. I've heard that the children of Catherine bear such, or rather the Bright Lords bear such equipment, but never those among the Kestrini have seen anything quite like that.
We are returning it to the Bright Lords.
Hey, so you serve the Bright.
There is
You came
much,
from here.
There is much that is different, and I apologize for the confusion of everything. Perhaps you can explain to us where we are and what exactly is happening.
Jot narrows his eyes and steps back and says, I am happy to bring the word to all those who would hear and those who would commit themselves to the children of Kesrini and would back their, would support is in service to the Bright Lords, as are we all. They have been here since time before time, since the age when the world first took shape, when the light shone out in the skies, and when all were in darkness. A bit of their light came from the sky and descended to guide the children into the era of light. And so we have lived as their servants for time in memoriam, preparing us for the day when the skies would scar and when demons would come from the sky, wielding blades and wickedness, and eventually all the world would be consumed in fire and raw evil. It is in that time, he says, gesturing to the foliage and the slight bit of the rock outcropping, basically gesturing towards, pointing upwards. It is at that time that the skies were scarred. Recently that they have shown themselves, and we know that the times are coming upon us when our life on this land will end. But the Bright Lords have seen to it that they shall take us away when this time comes, and that we must do our noble duty to keep the faith, to remain loyal, and to resist the demons should they arrive. For they will come and try to stop the Bright Lords from their task to bolster the heavens and to complete the weave of eternity.
This, she's not saying this, but
All of the
that
indoctrination.
this is leaving a very very familiar yet very bitter taste in Sharp's mouth.
I mean, this is Cold 101.
Yeah. She'll just nod and bow, of course, and we will do whatever we can to ensure such a protections from the evils that come.
We have no need for further protection when we have the watch of the Bright Lords, and our own people prepare armies hundreds of thousands strong. We shall do our duty, and the Bright Lords will not be disappointed by us.
May we see this weave of eternity which the Bright Lords have asked us to protect? We have been quite far, and we have only heard distant rumors of such things.
He kind of tightens his grip and says, If you serve the Bright Lords, you would know that the weave is among the sky, the new light that comes here. What land did you say you were from?
Well, Jad, you must understand, in the time of my grandfather, we suffered a great catastrophe. Not many of our elders survived, so the faith is... We've lost much.
Many
That's
stories.
that's
have
why
lost-
we... Yes, that's why we traveled so far to regain the knowledge that we've lost.
Marcus,
Fingers crossed he believes it.
give me a presence plus command to try and persuade him. It will be contested by Jot with insight and command.
Spend the momentum.
Would my deception focus apply?
Absolutely.
Wait a minute.
Hey, I'm a diplomat. Of course I have deception.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm absolutely.
Jot has rolled 2 successes, so that is a difficulty you need to beat. However, he has also scored a narrative complication, or well, he's rolled a natural 20, so a complication will ensue. I will let you roll first, Marcus. Though if you have a way that you want to work in the complication to, I don't know, grant you an advantage, maybe it could give you an additional D20, then you could apply that now. Otherwise, you can hold on to that narrative complication until it is suitable.
I have no idea how to work that in, really.
I'll let you guys reserve
Aside from making him really gullible.
he's already rolled 2 successes there, so I think that's still something you have
That's
to beat.
fair.
It's more a question of
let's see.
you could take momentum instead if you so wish.
Take momentum and use it. I'd
Let's
say.
roll. I'm definitely buying a third die.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just...
Hey!
Well, I did not know of other children of Kesrini that had been severed, but surely there must be more bright lords, and, well, I'll rule that the complication is he gives you a little bit more information. Even better, I'll give you some free obtain information, and the bit that I'll drop is to say, none of us will truly see the weave of eternity, for it is in the skies, although the light of devotion continues to shine out from the main temple, so... but that's only a place that some of our deepest inner circle have made it to. I'm training to go there myself one day.
Much luck to
Hopefully you
you.
will.
Yes, I would love the opportunity to meet the Bright Lords myself before the Day of Reckoning, if that were possible. It is my misfortune that the scarring of the skies has come. It is a terrible thing to happen in one's time.
Indeed.
Indeed.
It's very
Perhaps,
concerning.
Before the true end arrives, we may visit the temple to ask them to bless what remains of our village.
He rubs his face with a clawed hand and says, "Oh, that would be a difficult thing, but I suppose." One moment, guys.
No worries.
He's just reading
I have
up
so
on the
many
cult
questions.
again.
Sharp wants to throw open her mouth through this whole cult shit.
I have so many questions, but they're all like, we have no idea. Tell us everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
I get this is like the point where we find out like Ron L. Hubbard actually got his ideas from the fucking Tholians or something.
He is a Custodian.
Hmm.
No, it's Futurama, just the head of Ronald Hubbard.
Sharp is just objective oriented. She's like, nope, just get us to the temple. Get us to the goddamn light so we can break it.
Well, it would be highly irregular for me to allow you to, to allow anyone here, but in times like these, if I can save the souls of you and any who remain, how many of your people are there?
barely 100 last time we've counted. Though we were in such a rush to leave in desperation, she says, look, glancing back both as a drama and also kind of looking at Sharp or Horn like 100 maybe. Eh?
Yeah. Yes. Too few. Many days to the choose direction at semi-random.
Yeah,
Yeah, back the way you came.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. In such times as these, I would be remiss if I did not help you try to retrieve yourselves, especially when I have to save your souls and those of those who remain. So few.
Yes. You mentioned the coming of demons, and that is one of the stories we have lost. What are these demons supposed to be? I kind of want to know if we are the demons. Like that's I can see the story unfolding.
They come in a vessel with a big round ball on the front.
Yeah, something like, is it just like people without scales? Like, oh fuck.
Oh, they have been described as the most fearsome warriors of the dark, he says. I have a rendition that I have made, and
You
what-
you show us as you're making our way to the temple.
and
Brother.
I must gather my things a bit, he says. But I really have to show you this. It's actually quite good. I've studied extensively, and I would say that like while the blade is much more jagged and the features are very exaggerated, it's a little uncomfortable. Just in terms of like the caricatured level to it. You think what he's sketching vaguely resembles a Klingon.
Yes.
Yes, the most fearsome warriors of the dark. They will come. We've been warned by the Bright Lords that they will try to come here, and that if they cannot be held off in the heavens, that they will, that we must be ready to fight them, for they will come with blades and sheer evil in a concentrated form, their own twisted version of the light, all green and wicked. It's a whole thing, but it
It is truly
it wouldn't be an
terrifying.
end times, I suppose, without demons.
Zach, do they look more like original series like Klingons, or more like Discovery Klingons?
And original series before or after the warrior virus or whatever it was.
Yes.
So many Klingons to choose from.
I'm gonna say it is the way he's drawn it. They probably look a little more Discovery, but with hair.
Discovery, but with hair. There you go. Good
So late season Klingons. Yeah. Serious
Fantastic.
Klingons. Yeah.
Yes,
There's
if
a drawing of one just with like Kapla written in the sideline.
I gladly help you gather your things if you can leave soon. We have been on the road for a long time.
And we would like it to at least be accomplished.
Well, yes, I can see you out to the, here. Let me. He runs around the corner and like rummages together items from a sack. I'm sorry. I've been living out here for my studies and prayer, and well, I'll have to answer quite a bit once we get to the temple. But yes, it is quite a process. Let's see. Yes, he just throws things into a bag, tosses aside some half-eaten morsels, but then picks them back up off the ground. Oh, do any of you need to eat?
We have already have been quite nourished. Thank you, though.
Oh, okay, he shoves it in his mouth.
The ore, is that only like in the stone, or is there like also some pebbles or something lying around?
That just appears to be like ingrained in the stone. There isn't like a spare sort of. Well, there isn't a glowing pebble that you see anywhere aside.
That's a shame.
There. We tried in some of these sacred spaces, like the former mines here. Yeah, places where we do what we can. Yes, please do come with me, and I will show you I will show you to the site here. After scarfing down what little bit of food he has.
I would like to apply my cold reading talent, since I succeeded in social conflict, and I would like to get the read of him if he suspects anything or if he has just swallowed our story whole.
Yeah, I would also not. I don't have a cold reading talent, but I would like to make an insight roll to see whether or not he suspects anything.
I'll give it to
what degree.
Horn in this case because I think that Sharp is just more looking to make sure that he doesn't pull out a pointy stick and start, making
or become too much
everyone's
trouble. Yeah, I'm watching to see if he becomes too much trouble.
Yeah, which I won't have you roll for. Horn, in your case, I will allow for you to assess this. Remind me, what did the talent precisely say again?
I basically get a obtain information momentum spent to gain knowledge about the individual on the other side of the interaction.
Yeah, I would say that, like, he seemed very alert early on at, like, inconsistencies with the story, and particularly seeing Xantar with a bit of technology might be an issue, which may still linger for him. He may need to seek answers on it later, but
I have an idea, don't worry.
Your plea seems to have been earnest enough for him. The ages of experience and what has happened seems to have calmed him. That and the fact that you don't appear to be his awful caricature of Klingons.
Oh, it's a good thing none of us are Klingons here. Oh, wait.
But I would also, like, while he's rummaging around, tell everyone to keep their hands hidden, because they are very non-scaly.
Well, I imagine we're gloved or anything like that.
I would have
Like,
thought,
Do we have gloves? Do we have gloves? I mean, that's fair. That's fair, actually. Yeah. I didn't consider gloves.
We were trying to obscure our identity in the first place.
No, I forgot gloves exist. Let's move on.
You forgot gloves exist?
I was overthinking it, okay? Leave me alone.
No.
Just to make sure that the trackers are accurate, I will note, Felix, you did succeed at your task, so you earned back the point of momentum that you expended. I think that the present count should put us at... let's see, just double checking here. I think the present count should have us at 3 momentum now. So Xantar, if you could drop 1. And Romanov, on your end, I will tell you that based on what the scanner is telling you, there appears to be an energy current which is running through the rocks. The ore in the rock is something unfamiliar but very, like, potent, very capable of conducting energy, and you would guess in a high enough concentration it could do more. You can't discern the source of the energy, whether it's coming from the ore itself or like elsewhere or a different source on the planet. You just don't know about that, since it was only a partial success. But yes. So, as Jat is about to guide you away from the site, do you guys have any questions you want to put to him? Or do you guys want to hang back a little as he guides you in that direction? I want to give you guys an opportunity to speak with each other if you so wish.
She will hang back a little bit and whisper to Al. The one eye is always keep an eye on Jot. she'll say, "What do you make of these illuminations?"
Melnook, whom the GM just remembered is supposed to be on this away mission,
Yep.
and I'll put her token in here. She looks about and says, "Not familiar with the materials in this, with the elements in here, so it's probably something we haven't classified before. Best guess would be some sort of either naturally occurring power source or maybe something uniquely conductive. Might have something to do with what we're dealing with."
Work with Romanov and figuring out if it's part of the machine or just decoration.
I'll do what I can, but little hand scanner isn't gonna probably tell me that from here. I suspect we're gonna need to get a lot closer to whatever they've got on this planet.
I'm working on that, but every little bit counts. Just use your science brain. So she just moves forward.
Yeah.
Use that brain of yours.
You can't see the very mild disgust of just use science brain.
You wanted to do science.
What? That's not how this
Cast
works.
science brain.
What kind of Strange New Worlds line is that?
You be careful, young man.
I make no bones about criticism for Strange New Worlds. Come at me.
I'm approaching your location rapidly.
I feel like I've got the threat pool to handle whatever you've got.
Albus will not stop me. I have snacks.
But no, yeah, she just says that and just moves forward. Closing the distance between Jot and Horn. So that way she is definitely within sleeper hold range.
Yep. So while she's engaging with, while she's giving instructions, Horn, Xantar, anyone else, anything that, Remora, anything that you guys want to do here?
Just following along.
Gotcha.
Can't really think of anything.
Gotcha.
It's a very barren place, so there's not much to investigate, really, is there?
Yeah. We can change the environment if that helps you guys.
Hopefully.
We're towards the end of the session, and I'll give an alert here that we will be running back to the ship for a moment. So I'll be sure to reorient tokens. Just bear in mind we may have a moment with supporting characters up there. So, and just to give you the warning, Craig, but we're not there yet. Let's see. So, yeah, Jot is going to continue along, and Xantar, Horn, and anyone else close enough to listen will hear. I must admit, I will miss this place when the great departure comes, when we have to leave. But the Bright Lords have promised us sanctuary on a far-off world, not too far from our own, closer to them, or a land closer to them, that is to say. I have heard the word used before, this world as I understand it, but I don't understand the full meaning behind it. It is known most truly only to those in the inner sanctum.
Have they given a name for this new world?
No, they have not. I didn't know that you would call anything beyond that. We truly have, it is simply the land as we know it. The land of the Bright Lords. Yes. That being said, I'm sure that, my mentor, Ethal, he should be Ether shall be quite receptive to explaining things. If I can persuade him to show beneficence and maybe to grant us some special exception here, then the Bright Lords might be able and willing to perform an introduction. As he says this, you break through the forest line, and you see. You get a firm view over the valley, and you get a look at all manner of forested area, of villages, of farms set up. You see some individuals milling about the villages in the area, and in the distance, you make out. First, of course, your eyes are caught to the sky, and you really notice how the belt of what you know as the protoplanetary disk does seem to cut through the sky a bit, like a great scar in a deep yellow and orange. But your attention is probably most drawn to the mountains, where a light pulses out from a structure on the far end, and in the foreground before that, a great stone statue rises.
Oh boy.
I think that is where we will, with the view of that the unmistakable, armoring legs, a depiction of their bright lords, the Tholians. Yeah. Let's cut somewhere else, and particularly going back up to the Aegis. Shira, the ship remains in the moon, or like in orbit of the moon, hidden from the Tholian sensors. There are only a handful of patrolling vessels nearby, and they are all concentrated around the anomaly. There has been no word from the shuttle pod as of yet, not since they had set down, and I imagine a signal was sent to let you know that they have arrived. Some time is elapsing, and the Klingons are due very soon, within the hour, to approach the blockade, as it were, or the lines being set up by the lines being set up by the Tholians to intercept. You're not sure whether the Tholians will wind up warping out ahead in order to compel the Klingons to stop, or if the Klingons will simply pause to give them battle, as is often their way. Any number of situations could be happening. But let's see here. Sorry. Till then, Justice is just sitting around. The other officers are looking about. Crate says, Commander, I'm sorry, I don't actually have a status report. I'm just a little anxious.
That's quite all right.
Yeah. I mean, the captain is the captain being up, I suppose, is at least an improvement.
Yes, it is. Yes, quite a surprisingly quick recovery.
I suppose the doctor knows what he's doing.
Yes, I'm sure he does. We've got a pair of excellent doctors on board.
Steward, you notice that there appears to be an unusual display on the sensors. It seems as though. Whoop. Sorry, guys. Momentary issue with the Roll20 there. It seems as though Melnyuk had the sensors queued up to a very particular set of indicators that are beginning to flash, and it takes a moment to look this over. Give me, if you would,
and of course, she got told nothing.
Yeah, apparently. It seems that there's a gravimetric disturbance out in the radiation belt, or that rather the protoplanetary disk, and the bleeding of delta radiation. If you could give me an insight and science roll, I'm just going to ask you. Call this a difficulty 1 roll because I know you have applicable focuses for it.
Where is my ship NPCs? I am not an NPC. I am a pseudo NPC. Where
A
is
supporting
science?
character.
Yep. There we go. What was it? Insight and science?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yep, I have a focus. I'll spend momentum on this because why not? And do I have cautious?
I don't know. Okay.
I do have
There.
cautious.
This is an activation for Steward, so you could give her a different talent, value, or focus.
I'll figure it out after session. But yeah. There you go. 2.
Yep. So it takes a few moments to add up the... well, first off, you do get a point of momentum back from that. So basically, you get back what you spent, and you start putting things together in your head there.
Captain,
Yes?
there is a ship hiding in warp subspace in between the radiation belt that is warping straight to us and trying to hide it.
Interesting. Okay. Any indication as to
Like
what kind of
right
ship it is?
on top of us, sir.
Evasive action, then, Helm.
No. Don't need to tell me twice, Justice says as he pulls the ship into a hard turn, and there is sudden buffeting as as a vessel's warp bubble pops right beside you, dropping out of warp. Familiar deep red passes by the
Oh,
visual.
God damn it.
And Steward, radiation indicators begin beeping off on your sensors. Likewise on Alvarez's tactical sensors.
Radiological alarm. A whole lot of radiological alarms.
Shira, do you recall the last time you heard that? And the time you had to throw a freighter at them to stop the Kazinti.
Oh. That's unexpected.
Gazinti?
Well, I guess the cats are back to play.
Cat's out of the bag. And with that, bad pun alert, everybody. Oh, I said bad pun alert.
Evasive action!
Yep. All right. But this is where we are going to leave you guys off for next time. So you folks, I hope that you enjoyed tonight's episode, and we'll catch you next time. If you ever want to join us live, we run these games every Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. We hope you join us and have fun with that. But in the archive, this is where we're going to stop here, so we'll catch you later. Thanks.